and understand that we are those leaders that we seek. That we cannot expect someone to do our jobs for us. We must equip ourselves to be the leaders in our classrooms, the leaders on campus, and to be the leaders of our own lives. Are you with me? Okay. Excuse me? Okay. My parents lived in a world where society dictated whom they would be, placing man-made obstacles in their paths, making their challenges more difficult. However, they assumed leadership roles and opposed them. In spite of the many obstacles and challenges, El-Hajj Malik Shabazz, Malcolm X, and Dr. Betty Shabazz opposed them. They sought to provide a safer place for their children and for humanity. You see, much like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X was a selfless man. He was a man of great compassion and impeccable integrity. I was just a child, not quite 3 years old, when my father was assassinated, when he was martyred. And so my memories of him, as I recount in my book, Growing Up X, which I'll be signing later after this presentation, are flickering images of him, flickering moments spent with him. Like most children, I was in love with my father. He was Daddy, and our house came alive in a very special way when he came home. He was tall, a little over 6'4", and he had big, pearly white teeth that would pierce through an enormously beautiful smile. I remember his voice with such authority as he'd call my name. Ilyasa, he'd say. My mother told me I listened to no one back then. But when Daddy called, I stopped in my tracks, gooing to give my attention to Daddy. My mother often spoke of my father in our special ritual. In the evenings, I'd wait for him at the front door. He'd come in, wash his hands, pick me up, and hold me in one arm while holding a plate of homemade oatmeal cookies my mother made and the newspaper in another. We'd go into the den to watch the evening news and share these cookies. So after my father died, we stayed at the home of the Poitiers. Sydney, how many of you remember Sydney Poitiers?